Hey guys, it's Ahmad
And Christina
from
from
Our
Our
Rich
Rich
Journey.
Journey.
It is time that we talked about the recession and how to prepare for it. Because 2022 and 2023 look like they may be recession years. If you look at what's going on right now in the economy, major corporations are starting to lay people off. Interest rates are rising, which as a result will also slow spending and of course could lead to a recession. The stock market is crashing. All of these things that are going on in the world right now are giving us clues of what may be to come. So in this video, we want to prepare you to weather the recession storm by giving you 5 things that you should be doing right now to prepare for it.
So many people get worried about impending recessions, but we're here to warn you, don't worry. Recessions are a normal part of the cyclical economy in the United States, but they can be bad for people if people are not prepared. They can also be good for you actually in the long run if you are prepared. So that's what we want to focus on in this video. We want to talk about preparing for an impending recession.
So our first tip has to deal with your income streams. People's biggest fears whenever a recession hits is, will they lose their job? And if you only have one source of income because you only have one job, when a recession hits, you are walking on eggshells. And so our first tip is to have multiple streams of income. And you can start working on that by devising side hustles. You see, Christina and I, when we were on our journey towards financial independence, side hustles were what expedited our journey. We always believed in making money outside of our 9-to-5 jobs for many reasons. But one thing in particular is if you lose your main job, your side hustle can keep you afloat.
So when we're talking about side hustles and developing multiple streams of income, we're not saying that you have to start off with a side hustle that makes $5,000 plus a month. We're saying start off small. Make a goal of making $50 a month and then increase it after that. Any additional source of income can be helpful. And we did this, like Aman said, on our FIRE journey. We had an Etsy store where we were selling tooth fairy letters. We also had another side hustle where we were selling wine boxes and where we would create furniture and sell the furniture. And then later, we also had a larger side hustle where we were investing in real estate and renting it out via Airbnb and just regular rentals. So again, you can start off slow and expand your side hustles so it becomes a substantial part of your additional income that you're generating each month.
Our next tip is to take a look at your monthly expenses and reduce them wherever you can. You don't want to be in a situation where the recession hits and maybe you lose one of your sources of income and your expenses are still relatively high. We are big proponents of people having a high savings rate. And so we want to remind you that if a recession is on the horizon, this is a moment for you to reflect on how you are spending your current money. And if you see opportunities to reduce those expenses, you should start to take steps right now to do that.
So when we are talking about saving, we're talking about going through your budget line by line and really identifying where you can save. And it can be in small areas and it can also be in those large areas. As you start going through those line items and identifying the savings, those savings in each category can really add up. So our recommendation for you is to start with a savings rate goal.
Now, you've probably heard us talk about savings rate before when we talked about how our savings rate was as high as 70%. Now, we didn't get there overnight. We started off by just saving 1% and trying to get better after that. And all of those 1%, eventually, we got up to saving 70% of our income. So this should be a goal that you are aiming for regardless of whether or not you are preparing for a recession, because a high savings rate will also help you get to financial independence faster in the long run.
Our next tip to you is to research the unemployment benefits that may be available to you should you lose your job. Now, we're saying to do this now because if you're in a situation where you lose your job, that can create probably a lot of stress for you. And then in addition to trying to figure out your unemployment benefits at that time can add to that stress. So we encourage you to be aware of the unemployment benefits that you may have in the future by identifying them now.
And I just love this tip because everyone should know if they lost their job tomorrow, what they would be entitled to as far as unemployment benefits, either from the state or from your job. Whatever the case may be, you should know where you will land if you lose your job.
Our next tip is to take advantage of any type of lessons or courses or certifications that you can get through your current job. Many of you may have jobs that offer these types of things, but you haven't yet taken advantage of them. These things are all really important because they can improve your marketability in the workplace. It can be great for your current job, but it can also be a great aspect when you're going out and you're interviewing for other jobs in the future.
And this was something that Christina and I did when we were working for the federal government. There was always an opportunity to take some sort of training or professional development, and we took full advantage of that. At least every 6 months, we were sharpening our sword so that we were staying relevant at our jobs. Now, not every job has training opportunities. Sometimes you have to go out and do those things on your own, but consider it an investment in yourself. We should all be making these types of investments in ourselves because we are our greatest assets. And our last tip is don't let the fear of a recession hold you back. You see, this can be a very scary time when everyone is talking about a recession. And this type of talk can stop you from doing so many things that could be moving you forward, like investing in the stock market, like investing in real estate, like pursuing other endeavors, like retiring early. All of these things could be held back because you are so focused on the fear of a recession. You see, the thing is, recessions can also offer great opportunities. That's why we talked about making more money through a side hustle, by improving your resume, because the opportunities that may present themselves when the recession hits may be opportunities that you can take advantage of to move you closer to your goals.
So those are our 5 tips for you on how to prepare for a recession. Like we said, there are indicators that a recession may come, but there are no guarantees that a recession will come this year or next year or the next. Very likely a recession will come at some point, but again, we don't know when. But the idea is to be prepared. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.